This is Pre-Algebra lesson 10.6, the surface area of pyramids, cones, and spheres. Here's the deal. You need to understand, look at the top box on page 552. Look at that box on the top of page 552. Okay? Here's the deal. There are some things you need to get, some terms that you need to get. Okay? Whenever you're dealing with a pyramid or a cone, you need to understand some terms. Okay, can you envision that? Can you see that there? Each one of these guys. So listen, there's the height of the pyramid, which would be different than the height of this side. Remember, because those things are, they're angled in. So the height of the pyramid would be from in here. Does that make sense? Inside. That's the height of the pyramid. Does that make sense? We're not dealing with that today, but we're going to deal with that when we deal with volume of these things. But then on each side here, you have the slant. It's called the slant height, right? You see that thing is slanted, that side of the pyramid slanted. If you were to unfold this thing, what would it look like? It would look like this. Do you agree that object would look like this if I unfolded it? Yes. Do you agree? So then that green right there is the height of the slant. Does that make sense? It's this height. If you laid it out, that's the height. Does that make sense? The height of the pyramid is the thing in red. The entire height of the pyramid is the thing in red. Like, in other words, here's my, how tall is it in here, right? The slant height is how much is the area, is the height of the slant, right? And the height would be, if I gave you if I did this, and I put, you can see that height, the height of this might be very, very short. Right? But if I unfolded it, it would look, it would be big, long. Does that make sense? You know what I'm saying? The height would be short. Anyway. Okay. So you need to know some of these terms, okay? They use these things called LA, which is lateral area. What was that height called right here? Do you remember? That's the slant height, right? That's the slant height. This whole side here is called a lateral face. This is just stuff that, listen, I'm showing you this. You can always go back here and look, right? I mean, like, do I expect you to have this memorized for your homework? No. So whenever you see the formula, you're going to go, oh, right, what was a lateral face again? And you're going to go, oh, there it is. I got it. Does that make sense? I mean, like, I'm not expecting you to memorize this. Here it is. I'm just explaining it to you. The base of the pyramid is, I'll put it in blue, the base, of the pyramid is that thing, right? So, first of all, how many sides does that pyramid have? 5 sides, right? This square, or that rectangle, is this guy right here, right? Okay. Once you know these sides, right, then you're going to take, this side here becomes the base for this triangle, right? And this side here becomes the base for that triangle. Remember, we're finding the surface area, so you guys can wrap your brain around this. You're going to look at it and go, okay, here's a triangle. What do I need to find the area of a triangle? What do you need to find the area of a triangle? You need the base and the height. If you have the base and the height, you can figure it out, because the formula is 1/2 times the base times the height, right? And you know how to do rectangles because it's just base times height, right? Okay. So, the surface area of a pyramid is the lateral area, is this 1/2 P times L. I don't want to worry about the P times L. Here's the deal. All you need to do is look at the triangle, or look at I'm going to do this better. Hold on. Okay. Let me take what you need to be able to do is draw your map. not your map, your net, right? Draw the net. And know that, okay, if I gave you these dimensions, and I told you that this right here was 10 inches, and this was 10 inches, and I told you that this right here, which is true for all of them, and I told you that that is 15, we'll do 14 inches. That tells you what? Over here on our little net, you know that this here is 10 inches. This is 10 inches. You know that this here is 14 inches. Can you figure out the area of the surface of this entire prism? Yeah.
Is the square congruent?
If that's 10 and that's 10, do I need to write the 10 on each side?
No.
Right? So then what do I do here? You go like this. There's the bottom. What's the area of the bottom? 100 squared inches. Each side is the same. How do you know each side's the same? Yeah, right. The base is the same for each one, right? Okay. So then we need to find what is the area of that triangle. This would be the front. There's a back. There's a left and a right. How do I do this? Is it 140? No. 70. Each one's 70. Why 70, Jade? What's the formula for the area of a triangle? Jade, what's the formula for the area of a triangle? Half. You did 10 times 14, which is 140. What's the area of a triangle? Half of that, right? So what's the area of each side?
Half.
70. 70. Total would be 280, 380 squared inches. Does that make sense?
5 inches.
Does that make sense?
Wait, 5 inches times 14 inches?
5, no, yeah, but the formula is 1/2 base times height. So you would want to write that down, right? The area is that, so you go area is 1/2. The base was 10 and the height was 14. I would write this down. Why be confused? Why go, oh right, I forgot to, why do that? Write down the formula so that you can, oh, here it is, and I'm going to make sure that they all have something. Does that make sense? Does it take a long time to write down the formula? Would you guys like to do your homework and get half of them right because you didn't spend the extra 1 minute writing down the formulas? Or would you rather get 100% having written down all the formulas and taken that extra minute? Do you understand what I'm saying? Write the formulas down right before you do it. It takes 2 seconds. A cone. Okay, a cone. There is the slant height again, right, which is from one side of this baby all the way to the top, right? And then you also have the radius. You need to know the radius. How many sides are on a cone?
1, 2, 3. Oh, 2.
There's the base, and then there's the one side, right? So there's 2. And so here's the deal. We have the bottom, right? And then we have the side. Okay, how do I find the area of the bottom? What do I need? What do I do? Pi r squared, right? The area of the bottom is pi r squared. So if this here is 2 centimeters, then you go pi r squared, right? Area equals pi r squared. Area equals 3.14 times 2 squared. 2 squared is 4. 4 times 3.14, we already know, is 12.56. So the bottom is 12.56 squared centimeters, right? Now the side, here's the part that's weird. The formula is... right? The formula is pi RL. You see how it says LA. What do you think LA stands for? We already talked about this. Lateral area is pi RL. LA, let's talk about it, is, what is through pi? 3.14. What is R? The radius of the circle, which was 2. And then what is L, do you know? The lateral height, right? It's the lateral height there, which means it's the height. How tall is this baby? Well, I didn't tell you. We'll say it's 8 centimeters squared. If it's 8 centimeters squared, then you go times 8. Right? What is 2 times 8? 16. What is 3.14 times 16? What is it? 50.24 centimeters squared. What do? Add them up. 62.8 centimeters squared. If they want you to round to the nearest whole, 63. Does that make sense? You just use the formulas that they hand you. The last one, you ready for this? The last one they have you do is a sphere. And the formula for finding the surface area of a sphere, this is the easiest one because it's just a straight up formula. There's the center of the circle. You know what I'm saying? The very center of the ball, inside the very center. So this would be the radius of the ball, right? So the center of the ball to the edge, right? The formula is surface area of a sphere it's at the bottom of page 553. Surface area is 4 pi r squared. So, is that hard?
No.
So if this is 5 inches from here to here, say it's a basketball, 5 inches, there's a ball here, okay? 5 inches, you go the surface area equals 4 times pi 3.14 times the radius 5 squared. You 5 squared first, 25. Surface area equals 4 times 3.14 times 25. What is 4 times, this is an easy one. What should I do now? What's 4 times 25? 100. Surface area equals 100 times 3.14. What do? Move the decimal. The answer is 314 squared inches. Does that make sense, though? You just use the formula. Should you try to remember the formula and write it down? What should you do? Write it down. Write down the formula. Right there, and then right below it, make sure you filled everything in. And then you do it. Your homework. Page 555, 1 through 6, all.